Well, hello, sharpshooters. So we are in what we call in France the Trêve des Confiseurs. That's between New Year's, no, it's between Christmas and New Year's. So whatever that period is called in English. Look at this. I never get tired of it. This is my BBSO black box self-opt, not available for sale in NT4 anymore, only on NT5. And I don't know how long that's going to last because I probably will just go the private club way. And I will explain more on that later. But look at this miracle here again happening. We have an auto optimization going on. Okay. Now I've set it for every hour at the moment because that's what the market's doing. So what it's doing, you can see here, it's auto optimizing about 3,000 bars back. So it's doing a back test, it's doing a forward test, and using part of the back data to do the forward test to check how well the back test. Here we go, we've finished because I have a very fast processor. And this is the result it has come up with. And you can see on top that basically by using this data, okay, and I go through it in many of my, now it's become automatic, okay. This is what is going to be used in the next hour or so to do trades. Basically here you can see that the back and forward test has found that you can gain 1,225 points, not pips. It's a pretty high PF ratio, actually, 17, but it's only about 5 trades. So what time frame that is, that's 2,000 bars, and we are on 15 minutes. So I'll let you do the math. But that's not a lot of trades on 15 minutes. But as I explain, the objective, and here, of course, you have the filter, which will make you not do a contrarian trade. I have a sophisticated ATR filter, which says no trend, which means basically ranging. Remember, I'm the king of range trading. And we have down here the 20 moving average slope, which a lot of people consider as a very good trend. Those two have to agree. Now, the first filter is very complicated, but it's very good. So anyway, we've got self-optimization done. We're looking pretty good. We got our band periods here. You can put 10 orders if you want. You can put 1 order, as I do, or 3. And what you can do also is, and that goes back to my theory, and you have about 300 videos on this, so I'm not going to repeat it. You can put it on every time frame. So then you get what I call a natural hedge. Now, the reason for this video today is I will tell you some more puzzles for trading, as I have 30 years of experience. But I don't want to reveal all. No. It's like a magician, you know, these magicians that don't pass on secrets of other magicians. Or the Dutch who will never tell you what they have in their hot dogs. I've been trying. No Dutch will ever tell me. They say they sell these sausages in Amsterdam. If you ever go there, and nobody will tell a foreigner what's inside. They say you don't want to know, but they're quite yummy. So it's the same thing with, you know, things I do, and that's why after doing a lot of, I will say, charity work and being blown up for it, basically sharing my robots, everything, and just having every, you know, trashy person that basically wanted me out. I did have a product that was #1 twice, but let me repeat again that I was completely destroyed by trolls, especially ones from Brazil. And one with shady past from Austria. Okay, I'll let you guess who that is. She's all over the place, and la vengeance est un plat qui se mange froid. Anyway, I'm very happy. My trading's going well. In fact, I don't need to give back anymore because I don't know what this giving back has really, I thought working in banks for 30 years, having an incredible CV, which I repeat over and over again, would be helpful rather than you going to spend thousands on what are basically very good speakers, but people who have taught themselves. Okay. Anyway, today's as the title indicates, today I want to show you a couple of things. Now, here's my other very secret. Well, secret. It's all over the place on, but I'm not. I'm going to use it in my signals, and that's the only way you're going to have access to this. But you can tell it is making very good trades. Okay. Now, I get large drawdowns because I like to take risks. But, I get large drawdowns on smaller accounts. I have lots of small accounts. And I can allow myself, large drawdowns. Because, let's face it, I trade the Warren Buffett way. And there was one guy, and let me ridiculize him again, saying, Olivier Nombler is a terrible trader. He keeps trades for 1 year. Can you imagine? Wow. Hey, whatever happened to investment? Whatever happened to Warren Buffett stuff? Now, Warren Buffett just bought $5 billion in a couple of banks. Okay. I think he bought some in Goldman Sachs, but he mainly bought $5 billion in Morgan Stanley and some other ones. And I'm trying to think of the name right now. It will come back. One of the major banks in the world. Jamie Dimon is the head, as you know. So here's part of the mystery. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be saying all this, but anyway. Now, do you think Warren Buffett is going to go out and buy $5 billion in a bank in the US and put a tight stop on it? I don't think so. Okay. This is where we come to what my discussion is today. The COT report. The Commitment of Traders report. Now, I'm going to be deliberately vague on this, but it is an amazing tool. And since I like you guys, I'm going to tell you that if you're not using this report, you're missing out on something terrible. I mean, you're missing out on something that you shouldn't be missing out on trading, because I don't know how long you think it took for whoever did it to get the major banks, non-commercials, commercials, hedges, hedge funds, etc., to report their positions to the government every week. It used to be every 2 weeks. Is amazing. It's amazing that they've been able to do that. And this is out there. It's a government report, okay? It's a government report. And you have to know how to read it. That's the thing. Now, the thing is, traders, like magicians who don't want you to know how, you saw the lady in two, they don't really want you to know about this Commitment of Traders report. Now, I give an example on Warren Buffett because it's 3 days delayed. So everybody says, well, it's not worth it, is it? Because it's the data from Tuesday given out on Friday, analyzed by Saturday by many, many people who are very confused. If you go on the internet and you look at COT reports, the interpretations, everybody has a different interpretation. Well, I worked 30 years in the banks. I know how to read a COT report, okay? Now, let me show you here rapidly one interesting. This is the net interest of big, let's say big banks and hedge funds, etc. that gives you a pretty good indication of where they are. Like you see here, some pretty good tops. Okay, that's all I'd say for that right now. Now, let's look at the COT report as the government reports it. And you can get that, and I'll let you figure out the site. Because, you guys have it too easy and just complain all the time. So, I'll let you do some work. And I'm not even going to say how you read this. You can get many videos on YouTube that will sort of try and help you how to read this. But this is government data that is so important. You can tell like non-commercials, commercials, and non-reportable positions. And I'm not even going to tell you who they are. But these three are very important. And there are inverse relationships that work every time. There are direct correlations that work every time. And there are various things you can do with it, like, okay, I'll give you one, is look at change. This is the British pound. Look at the changes in longs, and look at the changes in shorts. Okay? That should be able to tell you something. This comes out Saturday night. Now, that's not going to change overnight, okay? Look at the open interest on shorts. Okay, this is the British pound. And, today is the 29th of December. This came out last week. I will say no more. Now, there are other sites you can look at. Okay, this is one of them. And I print this one out on... These are people that actually do a little bit of analysis, but sometimes there is confusion. So I'm not going to get into that because this is really a secret that I have. Now, what makes me different? Everybody should be reading the COT and analyzing it. And it'll take you a long time to figure it out. And I'm not going to reveal every secret because, as I said again, you can, get in my signal or buy my robots and I'll tell you, we'll work it out, whatever. This is an extremely important element. If you don't know what big banks are doing and hedge funds are doing, you are completely in the dark. You need to know that, and plus it gives you something to do on Saturdays because, nerds like me spend 24 hours, 7 days a week working on the market, which some people don't believe, but it's true. It's my true passion, and I've been doing it since 2001 after working for 15 years in the city as a director at Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank. Yes, and going 7 years to university and doing various theses. Anyway, the COT futures here, as you can see, there are various relationships to price that you can probably spot, and I'm not going to get into it because there's another site you can look at, the Commitment of Traders site, and these will tell you the large traders positions too. Here it is. I have nothing to do with these people. I'm not advertising. I don't subscribe to them because I don't think you need the subscription, but do what you want. But I would gladly pay $2,000, and I used to in the past because this was not free because it was so difficult to understand. Now this is a very good one because it tells you, it breaks down commercials, large speculators, and small speculators. And I won't tell you what the relationship is here, but you look at that and you better make sure this is, I use a hedging technique, and this is how I do a bias in my head. Because there's going to be shenanigans, and, when basically when retail sells, the big banks are buying, because that's how they get liquidity. That's one hint I'll give you. Okay. And